Now, on our previous worksheet, we determined the shortest distance between skew lines. Now, generally, there's two questions that you will get asked with skew lines. You will be asked to find either the shortest distance, or as we're going to go through on the next worksheet, the shortest horizontal distance. Now, everything up to this stage of the question remains the exact same. If you're either asked the shortest distance or the shortest horizontal distance, you will always go create a plane, project an auxiliary view where the two skew lines appear to be parallel, like we did in worksheet 1. Those steps will always remain the same, but it's the second auxiliary view which changes. We'll be projecting a slightly different second auxiliary view on worksheet 3. Now, the direction of two javelins are represented by two skew lines AB and CD. The projections of the shortest distance between them are given. So that is what we found on the last drawing here. That line 1, 2, that's what's shown here. Determine the projections of the shortest horizontal distance between them. Now, as I said, all the steps up to finding that first auxiliary view are the exact same. So I'm just going to work through those couple of steps here quickly now. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because you have looked at it already from worksheet 2. So I'm going parallel to the line AB from point C. My second step then is to bring a horizontal line across from D, and that now creates my plane CDP. I now need to draw the plan of that plane, so I'm going to drop down point P. The line CP has to still be parallel to AB, so I'm going to draw that in, and there I now have point P, so I will join point P to D, and I know as well that that now is a true length line because it is horizontal in the elevation. Next, I want to get an edge view of this plane, and I want to see if that plane is parallel to the line AB. So I'm going to look along that true length line. So the exact same as I've done on the previous two worksheets. Now, count back then, our two views, and we are taking heights from the elevation. So I'm just going to quickly drop down my line there from D so I can measure a height first. Similar to the last question, D and B are the same height, which saves us a little bit of work. So follow D, project it out. There's D1, follow out B, B1, and then A and C are both on the XY line, so we don't need to take any heights. A1 and C1. And I'll draw on my two skew lines. This one is actually the edge view of the plane. I just haven't labelled point P because it lines exactly up with point D. It would be behind it. So all of that is the very same as what we did on the previous two worksheets. The next part now is what's slightly different to what happened on worksheet 2. So the shortest horizontal distance. This is what's different. On our previous worksheet, we had the shortest distance. So for our second auxiliary view, we look 90 degrees to our skew lines. The difference here, instead of looking 90 degrees to those skew lines, we are going to project a view looking down along the x1, y1. So this is what we do when we're asked to find the shortest horizontal distance. So I'm projecting out points A and C, points B and D, and there is my x2, y2. I will count back 1, 2 views for my distances, and I am going to put in a datum line parallel to the x1, y1, like so, and then I will measure. I don't need to measure back, A and D are both on my datum line, so I'll measure the distance from the datum line to point C. I'll step it off, label C2, I'm also going to label there D2, A2 is on the x2, y2, and I'll measure the distance back then for point B, and there's B2. I will then draw in my 2 skew lines, AB and CD, and they appear to cross over, and that is the shortest, where the shortest horizontal distance would be. So what I am now going to do is where they cross over. So this is very similar now to what we did on the previous question again. So we found where they appeared to cross over, we projected it back, we got the points 1, 2, and then we projected them back to our plan and elevation. So where they appear to cross over now, I'm projecting it back to my first auxiliary view, and I'm just going to highlight that line here on my drawing. I'm going to call that line line 1, 2. Now I'm going to project points 1 and 2 back to both my views. The reason when it says determine the projections of the shortest horizontal line, they're asking for us to draw it in both our views here. So point 2 is on the line AB, and point 1 is on the line CD. So you will notice now that that shortest horizontal distance is different to the shortest distance line which we found previously. I will then project point 1 and 2 straight up to the elevation. Point 1 is on the line CD, point 2 is on the line AB, and if everything is done accurately, the line 1, 2 will be horizontal. The reason it's horizontal, well, for starters, it's the shortest horizontal distance, but also if I counted 1, 2 views back and I was to take the height there, 1 and 2 are both the same, that would match perfectly up with my height there for 1 and 2. And that is how we find the shortest horizontal distance. So 2 things that come up with skew lines: shortest distance, shortest horizontal distance. But the first half of the question, if we want to call it that, is the exact same, regardless of what you're asked.